Babe, wake up, new Dragon's Dogma 2 showcase. So yeah, sorry this took me a little bit to get out. I've just been having a lot of creative struggles, but it's Dogma time, baby. So yeah, needless to say, we got some stuff to talk about here. Opening things up was a main trailer that gave a little bit more insight into the story. We got a peek at this game's version of the Dragon Forged, but they are definitely holding back, which is fine by me. I would rather unravel as much as possible simply by playing the game. The trailer ended triumphantly on the release date. This still doesn't feel real. April is going to be the busiest month of my life. Expanding upon what was shown, we get a closer look at Talos, which is just this fucking huge giant. This entire sequence gave me chills, and that doesn't happen. Like, that just doesn't happen with anything. Like, I can watch the most high-octane video game trailer and I'm just like, yeah, that was alright. Like, they decided to go all out on sheer sense of scale, and I just adore classic heroic shit like this, standing against something so immense and daunting. This will clearly be a standout set piece of the game, and I strongly doubt it's going to be the only one. Also, Greek mythology is my favourite mythology, and seeing it work its way into this game between this and the Gorgon makes me a very happy boy. However, here is where we get into the one element of Dragon's Dogma 2 that I actively hate. Pawn dialogue. More specifically, the voices. In the original game, we all know pawn chatter was abundant and typically too much. But back then, they were provided by professional voice actors, which definitely softened the blow and made pawns bearable for me. Here though, for whatever reason, the pawn voices sound horrendously amateur. This female voice in particular is especially bad.
What could possibly impel a being of such size to motion?
I rarely say shit like this, but it actually makes me cringe. Like, it actually sounds like she's doing this voice as a joke. Like someone told an American to do a bad impression of a British person. I'm not joking when I say I could do a better job. Here, watch.
What could possibly impel a being of such size to motion?
What could possibly compel a being of such size to motion?
I cannot but fear 'twill bring ruin wherever it treads.
I cannot but fear 'twill bring ruin wherever it treads. I will at least take solace in the fact that this doesn't seem to be the case for all of the voices. But yeah, if any modders want to get in touch, I would gladly voice a full collection of pawn dialogue so people could at least have the option to go with that instead. Perhaps the most exciting part of the showcase for me is one small detail with massive implications. The confirmation that the story of Dragon's Dogma 2 takes place in a parallel world that mirrors the world of the original game. This tells me a few things. First, the writers likely want the original game to remain a self-contained story, which is fair enough since I always felt the story of the first entry wrapped up any loose ends quite nicely. Second, the intention here seems to be to achieve the full scope of the original game's vision this time around, since a lot of content and ideas had to be cut from Dragon's Dogma 1. Third, it's uncertain if the notion of parallel worlds will be directly acknowledged in the story itself, or have any direct impact, but it's worth noting that this idea was always played with in regards to the Rift, which is presented as sort of a nexus between separate worlds, and it seems as though we're going to be getting more of a focus on the Rift itself this time around too. I can't wait to start unraveling everything at play here, and I am so dearly looking forward to diving into another adventure. Oh guys, look, it's my girlfriend! I'm gonna make myself so hot. Bridgemancer has an official name now. Dubbed the Trickster, we get a fascinating peek at this entirely unique vocation, and it actually goes so much harder than I anticipated. It seems to heavily lean into control spells and skills that let you manipulate both the environment and your enemies themselves as you pull the strings from behind the scenes. And that sounds both incredibly sick and potentially busted as hell. Very excited to get my hands on this one. Something that really stands out to me is, okay, let's look at the Dragon's Dogma 2 website real quick. So for these vocation emblems, we're mostly seeing familiar stuff, right? Like, if we look at the 4 starting choices, they're all familiar colors. Thief is bringing green to the table, but we can assume that simply denotes a different flavor of roguish type, since bows and daggers got divorced. If we take a peek at some of the hybrids here, this also checks out. We already know Magic Archer is a combo of magic, and archery, it's literally in the name, and Mystic Spearhand seems to be the given combination of red and blue this time around. So, let's proceed with the assumption that red equals swordsman, blue equals magic, yellow equals rogue, and green equals rogue 2. Now, take a look at Trickster. What the fuck is this? The implication is this is a hybrid vocation between pink and purple? I don't know what the fuck pink is, let alone purple, and you just threw both at me. It's to know what's going on. I saw a theory that pink could represent faith vocations and purple could represent monk vocations, and if they put a fully fledged fistfighter vocation in this game, don't even get me started, bro. Don't even. The only thing I can think to guess here is that Trickster is just a wholly unique vocation, not beholden to any established category, and that implies the existence of more such unique vocations. Another thing that stands out to me is the current lack of a given red and yellow hybrid like assassin in the original game, which suggests that we haven't seen the full lineup of vocations just yet. Of course, they could simply stop here and still have 9 vocations available, much like in the original game, but I'm just not quite convinced that's going to be the case here. Given that Warrior and Sorcerer are still being defined as advanced vocations, it stands to reason that both Archer and Thief will get their own advanced branches. And frankly, I'm still fairly convinced of an incoming Katana-based vocation. I'm already really happy with how vocations are looking, so if we do get more of them, I'll be very excited, even if that means I will inevitably have to make more guides as a result. Speaking of vocations, we got a closer look at both Warrior and Sorcerer here. I don't have too much to say on Sorcerer, but it didn't escape my notice that spell syncing is back, and from what I can tell, seems to be a fair bit faster, which could severely amp up the vocation's capability. I'm not an expert on casters though, so if anyone more familiar could confirm or deny that one, please do so. Warrior, on the other hand, stands out a lot here. They now seem to be capable of charging their blade with fire. I assume that boosts their damage. The website makes a very big deal out of their damage dealt when capitalizing on an opening. I think we could well be looking at Monster Hunter levels of greatsword damage here, and warriors now being capable of swinging their blade while mounted is potentially huge for them. Very eager to see this vocation make the most righteous comeback imaginable. Aside from that, the Dullahan is awesome, looks very intimidating, can't wait to punch that to death. I also really like how the Drake looks when it's breathing fire. This just looks like something you really don't want to get hit by, it gives me anxiety, more than I already have. And I don't super care about the stuff in the deluxe edition, but I plan on getting the most expensive version they release regardless, purely because I want to support this game as much as possible. So yeah, all in all, very happy with this showcase. I admit I was hoping for a demo to be dropped. I just really want to get my hands on this game and take in every last thing it has to offer. To reiterate, I love how distinctly weighty the combat feels, and seeing more of the gameplay, I like that we can just get knocked down and left vulnerable to follow-up attacks. It makes everything feel that much more dangerous, and I feel like there are going to be fights where we have to be extremely careful about properly defending against or avoiding incoming attacks. From what I've heard, healing items are being handled differently, or might have even been done away with, so if that is the case, then everything just feels a bit more dire here, you know? I don't think Itsuno plans to pull his punches with this one, and that has me very excited. Anyway, thanks for giving this a watch. Love you all. I've said this before, but I will definitely be putting guides out for this game as soon as I can. Can't begin to express how excited all of this makes me. Now, keep an eye out, because to sort of celebrate the release date being dropped, I'm planning to make an announcement here soon. And hopefully it'll be something you guys enjoy, so stay tuned. Okay, bye-bye, video is over now. You can keep watching if you want, that's fine. Live a little, you know? I'm not gonna tell you what to do, you're your own person. And I believe in you, and if you believe in yourself... What's good, my name's Itsuno. I decided I'm gonna make the best fucking game in the world, enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. You can join my Discord for updates and to hang out with the lovely members of the Thieves Guild. I can also be followed on Twitter, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so on Patreon, or simply donate directly via PayPal. Links can be found in the description below. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time.